Loneliness, it's something that every single human being experiences in their lifetime. At some point in time, we're bound to feel lonely. And it's lonely at the top. We've heard that said over and over and over again. But what does that mean? What am I talking about here? I'm talking about those of us who choose to live our lives by higher standards. Because the reality is that society wants you to fail. As strange as that sounds, as cliche as that might not be, society wants you to fall down. Society wants you to play small ball, to be average, to get used to comforts, to pursue and chase a comfortable life. To raise the bar means to raise the bar for all people. People don't want you to look good. People out there in the world don't want you to be successful, to demonstrate what it looks like to be an integral person, because what that does is it raises the level of accountability for everybody. For everybody. Just think about this. Next time you go to the gym, right? If you're at the gym and you're putting up a personal best, there's somebody there who's watching. Or maybe you notice it in the reverse. You're at the gym and you see somebody else putting up a massive lift. Doesn't that inspire you to lift more? Or doesn't it make you feel less than because you're not doing the lift that person over there is doing? It's how we operate as humans. In fact, when leveraged properly and responsibly, it's one of the best assets we have, healthy competition. But most people don't want to do what it takes to live at a higher standard. Most people don't want to do the late nights, the early mornings, the runs, the lifts, the diets, the hard conversations, digging really deep into those traumas and those patterns that we have. Most people would rather not do that because that's hard work. We know this. If you've tried to implement anything challenging in your life, if you've ever tried to push your edges, to push your boundaries, you know that it's a difficult process. It requires a certain type of person. It requires a certain mentality. I've got to override the part of my brain that wants to say, sit down, take a rest, take it easy. Here's the couch. Society gave us a couch and a television set and ice cream to make us feel comfortable, make us feel good about ourselves when we relax and take it easy. I'm not taking away from the moments where we do relax and rest and recharge for the sake of what I'm getting ready for next. But the fact is that society doesn't want you to have standards. Society wants you to keep them low, to stay average, to stay in the middle of the pack. And the reason I know this is because as I've challenged myself to live at a higher standard in every corner of my life, I get pushback. I get resistance. I get judgment. I get people who challenge me for pushing myself hard, people who challenge me for living my life the way that I do. Some people are inspired by that. Other people, they don't want to see that because it's more of a reflection of where they're not willing to push themselves. And what that does to guys like you and I, it generates this experience of loneliness. The higher you raise that bar, the lonelier it gets. The higher up that mountain that you climb, the less people there are up there. I've got a buddy named Preston Smiles who loves to say that there's no traffic on the road on the extra mile. There's no traffic on that road because most people don't want to go there. And they may look at you funny. They may judge you for pushing yourself. They may try to make you feel bad about the way that you're living your life and for raising the bar. Say, hey, you're making us all look bad. Ignore it, because to live life by your standards, the way you choose to live them, that's what's most important. And just know that the higher you raise that bar, it's going to get lonely. I've been feeling that myself recently. Started to see that as I'm pushing and challenging myself, there's less company up there. There's still people. I'm not trying to say I'm at the top of the mountain by any means. There's people I'm looking up at, and those are the ones whose ankles I'm pulling on, trying to get up to where they are. It's inspiring. Feels good to have somebody out there in front of me. And don't forget that too. Because whenever you get tempted to lower the standard of your life, to settle back into something that's easy, that's comfortable, just remember that there's somebody watching, just like being at the gym. Instead of doing that heavier lift, instead of pushing yourself to take it to another level, you walk it back. Somebody saw that. Somebody watched you do that and said, you know what? That gives me permission to stay right here too. And I have a feeling, I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling that if you're listening to this, there's a part in you that wants to push that bar up. Just remember, in fact, expect society to take that bar and push it down on your throat because they don't want you to lift it higher, because it means that we all get to rise to that standard. If you lift that up, if we push that bar higher, then we all have to come up to that bar. And not everybody's willing to do what it takes to live at that level. So just know that when you start to climb that mountain, when you start to challenge yourself and live life at a higher standard, you're going to have moments where you feel lonely, where you feel like there's nobody else you can relate to, where you feel like there's people trying to pull you down. Yeah, it's a funny part of human nature. We do this. We pull each other down. When in fact, when you find people, when you find those humans to surround yourself with that boost you up, that challenge you to raise the standard, that want to raise the standard with you, that will be inspired when you push the bar higher instead of trying to pull it back down on top of your head, that's when you know you found the right people. They're there. In fact, they're right here in this Rising Man community. Trust me, I know these men. I see these men. I know their hearts. I know your heart. If you're listening to this and you're feeling that inspiration, then you belong right here. Don't let society lower the standards for you. Decide that you're going to raise the standards for yourself and let that be an inspiration for everyone around you, everyone in your life. I hope you dug this message. Make sure you tune in each and every week for another episode of the Monday Morning Meditations. I'll catch you on the next transmission. Peace.